The boys are back on home ice after salvaging a 4-game Eastern Conference road trip. The Edmonton Oilers, they return home for 4 straight hockey games. This one kicks off against the Utah Hockey Club, still without an official name, so maybe we can vote on what we think our out-of-the-box names will be today. Getting set for this one down at Rogers Place. Boys, feels good to be back. Home ice, home studio. I got Coombsy with me. I got Brett Holden producing. It's Friday night, but we are way more sober than we were. Hello and welcome to Pregaming with Bordzy, brought to you by Sherwood Ford the Giant, and is a presentation of Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app, use the promo code NATION, N-A-T-I-O-N. Check it out in the chat. Kicking off with a good week. And it sounds like Austin's ready to get into one already because it's Tuesday and he immediately brought up shotguns. He says, good evening, my ON fam. Make sure to get the likes up in this chat. Bordzy, let's fire up this fucking band, baby. This is our time, 3 in a row. Beers are cold, prepped for shotguns, our house. Brett, I don't really want a shotgun today, do you?
You don't ever tempt me with a good time because I am a perpetual yes finder, so don't prep me with a good time. But
you kind of sewered me right there, bro.
Shotgun and cold beers, bold. Yeah, got to be room temperature.
I think there is some cold, seltzers or something in the fridge, but it's Peyton knows. I strictly drink Odd Company Nation beer, everyday lager, perfect for game day, perfect for every day. Kiana's in. She says Hyman's back, Ekholm's back, Leon 50 watch. If that isn't a recipe for a big orange dub, then I'm not sure what is. We're back in studio. Cup yeah. Bob Stauffer, which I appreciate, brother. I'm flattered right now. It says, why is pre-gaming so much better than every day? I don't know about that, brother, but we definitely, the dick joke per 60 is definitely a little bit higher on pre-gaming.
Astronomical.
Also says that we could get some big guests like every day has. Pre-gaming with Bordzy could take over the internet. I don't know about that. Might have to drop a tape of some kind to take over the internet. Huh? Hello, Dylan's in. Says, let's go Oilers. Cup yeah. Chris Knobloch is in and says, it was the hardest decision of my life to put Jeff Skinner on the first line. Boys, clap it up because we finally made it. Jeffrey Scotty Skinner. I mean, he'll start the game with Connor McDavid, as we know. Depth charts, just a recommendation for Chris Knobloch. Sasky Girl Oil fan in this one. Serious, and I do like this point. Says, can I get a shout out to mine and Nobby's hometown boy, Utah goalie Connor Ingram tonight? He announced he entered into the NHLPA program after losing his mom. She was an amazing person, obviously. It was an incredibly tough time to deal with. Thoughts, prayers go to the family in Ingram. Clap it up for Connor Ingram. Also, we have a very good Saskatchewan fan base here at Oilers Nation as well. So shout out to you, Sasky Girl Oil fan, and Sasky Oil fan as well. Knobloch also said, Pickard, don't mess this up. So that's a good vote of confidence from your head coach. Bella, 3-game win streak incoming. Everybody knock on wood. That is what we hope for. Statistics in. Happy game day. Let's go Oilers. And I'll throw it in there for her. Cup yeah. And as I'm joined by the man on the screen, the man, the myth, the legend, the man who joined me on Friday, Cam Lewis Coombsy, my first question to you. Did your hiccups finally stop from Friday night on Oilersnation After Dark? If you didn't tune in, you missed out because it was absolutely hilarious to be a part of. Coombsy, you had hiccups for like 20, 30 minutes live on the air, but you powered through.
For like half of that show, I was nonverbal. I wasn't able to participate in anything. I was just sitting there thinking about the hiccups, didn't know what you guys were talking about. I was focused entirely on the hiccups.
The boom was life before hiccups. The doom was the hiccups themselves. Shout out to Brett Holden because he knew on that one. I think I might have to speak a little bit more. I don't think Coombsy can physically talk right now, but as you can tell, Brett Holden producing behind the scenes as well. Feels good. Intern Payton's here. He said he's 1-5 on his betting picks that he's given out so far this year. He said, okay, you get another kick at the can. I kind of banned him from it, but he's back on. Intern Reese riding with Boost Shot Prop.
He is also actively making signs of the cross right now. So
take whatever you can get, baby. Yeah. Bordzy's bankroll, super juiced up tonight. As my boy Brett says, we going plus chasing tonight. There's a couple things. I don't know if anybody told Bet365 that Jeff Skinner is on the first line, but I'll tell you now, run over to Bet365. Get some Skinner props because they're already going down in value through they've been available for 45 minutes. I've already seen the line change multiple times. But Coombsy, there's a different energy in the office today, and it's not just because Derek Ryan was recalled from the Bakersfield Condors, but my own mind and Waz have some full energy today. Walked in. The only person on planet Earth that owns a double autographed Derek Ryan jersey. And he
Not
wears
even in
it
the family.
with,
No one
I was
has
like,
that.
they wouldn't do that. No, DR, we love you. We're happy to have you back. Also very weird because, Brad, I don't know if you noticed, Coombsy, you definitely noticed. I think every single employee of Oilers Nation was in the office today, which,
Yeah.
let me just be honest with you, people, that does not happen very often. Is it a coincidence that our Toronto boss, Almol, is in town and is staying upstairs? I'll leave that up to you. When I came downstairs today, I was like, the hell is, that's totally right. That makes a lot of sense. But sun shining, Coombsy, we're back on home ice. I feel very good about my bets this evening. Positivity worked on Friday night. You feeling positive about this home stretch for the Oil?
The vibes do feel high right
Right?
now, and I think it's because the weather changed recently and it's starting to get on the upswing towards warm weather again. When the team was losing, it also coincided with it's suddenly getting middle of March winter cold again, which doubled down on how shitty that was. So now teams back at home for 5 of 6 games. Good chunk of those games look pretty winnable, and the weather's nice, so the vibes are very high.
Vibes are incredible. You know what would help with the vibes? Odd Company Nation Beer Everyday Lager. Perfect for game day, perfect for every day of the week. You can get them 2 Odd Company locations in the Edmonton area, downtown, or their Ritchie location, or just check liquorconnect.com. We were just talking before the show today. Now, once again, I say it's knock on wood because we're definitely going to get a dump of snow in April. But patio season is coming. It is around the corner. And let me tell you, Odd Company, they know how to do patio drinking right. We're also talking about maybe a little end of the year party down at Odd Company.
Damn.
Who knows? We can just party on our own. We don't need Oilers Nation for that. Enjoy their delicious Nation beer every day. Lager. Coombsy, one question for you. Are the Oilers back?
They might be back.
They might be back. Now, it's only 2 games over the weekend, and one of them, they scored 2 goals against the New York Islanders, but they looked very good on Sunday against the New York Rangers. Once again, did that without Zachary Martin-Hyman, did that without Matthias Ekholm in their lineup. And in that game, to me, it felt like they solved a lot of their issues that have been plaguing the Edmonton Oilers recently. There was I'll say less glaring mistakes defensively, way less turnovers, not as many odd man rushes or well-controlled odd man rushes against. You got some good offense. You scored 3 goals. Especially saw some good games from 2 guys specifically that you needed it from. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins had a big game, 3-point night. Victor Arvidsson scored a goal that he needed that one. We've not seen those shots go in for Victor Arvidsson all season long. Connor McDavid also got on the score sheet. Leon extended his 18-game point streak. And in that game, right, there was no slouch. That's not like the Islanders. The Rangers were hot going into that. They are vying for a playoff spot in that really, squished, I will say. That's a bad word choice. I don't know, I kind of blanked there, but highly contested. There it is. Got my synonyms down. But they're in that chase for those final 2 wildcard spots in the East. And I'd argue the Rangers are playing playoff hockey right now as that's going on. And the Oilers looked pretty damn good in that hockey game. We obviously did Friday together, but what'd you think about Sunday's effort? Stuart Skinner, also good.
Yeah, both of those games I thought for the Oilers over the weekend, the 2 New York games were nice thing to see from the team. It would have been fun to watch them go, guns a-blazing, score 5-6 goals, win the game. But a big problem for the Oilers this season has been keeping the pucks out of the net, so limiting their opponents to just 1 goal in back-to-back games. And I mean, the Islanders, yeah, but like we talked about with the Rangers, they're right in the mix for a playoff spot. They're playing well recently, so we can scoff at it just being 2 wins and celebrating that, but the Oilers haven't had a winning streak that's reached 3 games since January. So this is the best they've looked since well before the Four Nations break. And I think that when you go back to Edmonton's hot streaks last year, the 8-game and the 16-game winning streak, you think you're not thinking about 8-7 wins or huge offense. It was them locking down and playing well defensively. It was building from the net out, and that's what made them successful. So if we see them going on a nice run here down the stretch and into the playoffs, it'll be because they're playing strong defensively.
Once again, during that run, there was a lot of like 3-2, 4-2, 2-1 games. Stuart Skinner was back on his bullshit at that time, and hopefully it will happen. Once again, Calvin Pickard, he's going to get the start on this one. But boys, I got to call a quick timeout because I totally forgot about this. Happy birthday, Lance Kane. Happy birthday, Lance Kane.
Happy birthday
one of my faves here to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lance. Happy birthday to you. And a couple more. Lance, we love you. I don't know if you saw it on socials, but Friday night, we were able to give Lance back. He gave Peter, I forget from what country that guy came from, but he couldn't get any Oilers merch. Lance was sitting next to him at a game. Lance gave him his Western Conference Championships hat. And then shout out Wanye bought the same one for Lance so we could give it back to Lance because we love Lance Kane.
Check in.
Check. Yeah. Absolutely. Lance makes friends with absolutely everybody. I mean, come on. A stud's a stud. You know that when you know it. Southpaw said about the offense. Nuge was called out and answered. Coach's favorite. Gonna need Chris Knobloch to confirm that with me here in the chat. Sean also says Leon Hattie tonight. Why not? And we still yet to have a hat trick this season for any Edmonton Oiler, right? And I did just say to Tyler before he left the office, Brett, you're wearing way too nice of a hat to be going to the game tonight. Always wear your shittiest hat.
Somebody also said to Kennedy when she was leaving the office, she was like, oh, hopefully number 50 tonight. And then I believe it was Peyton who said, hopefully number 52 tonight.
We're manifesting.
Little bit of hat trick juju today.
We can visit that later in Bordzy's bankroll. But the Oilers, right, back on home ice here for 4 straight hockey games. It'll actually be 5 of their next 6. Really weird. They throw in a little Seattle back-to-back there after the Dallas game. There you see it, the rest of the schedule. Utah tonight, the Winnipeg Jets on Thursday, Seattle Kraken on Saturday, and then I appreciate it, 3 days in between hockey games. That's going to be weird for regular fans. As you could see Brett behind the camera, I could pump in his fist because the boys appreciate that. And then after that, Brett, it is straight games every other day till the NHL playoffs. And we officially move into Greta. Just talking about that 4-game homestand going on that's about to come up here. 2 of those games, you kind of mentioned it. On paper, they should be W's, and 2 of those other games will be big playoff tests for the Edmonton Oilers. The Winnipeg Jets have been running the NHL shit all season long from front to end. Well, maybe not end so far. We will see. Look at that over the Oilers. They have a 16-point lead over the Edmonton Oilers. They have an 11-point lead on the next closest team in the Western Conference. That's a little crazy to me. And then that second place team in the West is the other tough challenge in the Dallas Stars, who they're with their new roster. You bring in your Cody Cece's, Granlund's, Mikko Rantanen's. They're going to be rounding into their playoff form. And the Oil, while just beating the Dallas Stars, a week ago, that game was close. We saw it in the Western Conference Finals for 6 games. But with that stretch of hockey, Coombsy, it kind of all leads. So, Brett, can you pull the schedule back up again there just so we can have a visual? Nice. There's my boy. They go to Dallas on Wednesday, or Dallas on Wednesday, Seattle Thursday, Calgary on Saturday, which we'll be partying at Greta for, I believe, for that one. Brett and I then have to catch a flight incredibly early to then go party in Vegas all day. Boo-hoo, poor me, woe is me. But that will set up, Coombsy, hopefully, a big game against the Vegas Golden Knights April 1st on the Nation Vacation, watching from the Stella Artois Lounge. Point being, these next 2 weeks here are really going to determine this stretch run here for the Edmonton Oilers. We have thought that first place in the division, kind of a dream, but it is becoming more real and real. Once again, you always have to keep in mind the LA Kings hot on the Edmonton Oilers' ass. But this 2-week stretch needs some W's here on home ice against 2 teams you should walk and 2 teams that if you win those games, the Oilers might be back.
Yeah, they're only 4 points back of Vegas right now. Right? And Vegas and Edmonton in this stretch right now, the Oilers play those 6 games, 5 of which are at home. Vegas has a 6-game stretch right there before that April 1st game in Vegas against the Golden Knights. They play 3 at home and then 3 on the road. They're playing Boston, Detroit, Tampa, Minnesota, Chicago, and Nashville. So similar kind of thing to the Oilers, where it's a mixed bag. You got some difficult teams like Tampa. You got Minnesota and Detroit. They're in the mix for the playoffs, and then some, bottom of the barrel teams. So I don't think it's a particularly difficult schedule for the Golden Knights. So the Oilers look at this 6 games. You can't really go 3-3 on this and expect to be 2 points back at the Golden Knights when you face them in Vegas on April 1st. So the Oilers have to do something on this stretch, go win 4 or 5 games, something like that.
Out of these next 4 games, what are we happy with? 5 points, 6 points? What are you looking for? We were talking about on ONE the other day. For it to be a successful road trip, I'm thinking 5 to 6 points here to keep this dream alive.
For the homestand, like the 4 games or the 6 games?
Homestand.
The
4-game homestand.
Yeah, you probably want to win 3 of those games.
Right?
You want to beat either Winnipeg or Dallas.
I'll take it anyway. It can come in overtime. Pause. Yeah, pause on that. Yeah, I felt it when I said, all right, we'll move along with that. The Edmonton Oilers, though, tonight getting some reinforcements back into the lineup. Not only will Zachary Martin Hyman return to the lineup, but the Viking, Mattias Ekholm, has also been confirmed. Earlier today, they both came out for morning skate. There's Zach Hyman, and he'll be playing with Connor McDavid and Jeffrey Scotty Skinner. There's a look at the lines earlier today at Line Rushes, courtesy of the Bob Father. Corey Perry with Dry and Brown, Pods with RNH and RV, Janmark with Rico centering the 4th line, and Kasperi Kapanen. Then your deep pairings, baby. Ekholm with Bush, Nurse with Woolman, Kulak with Emerson. So we know Zach Hyman, what he's going to bring. And during the Oilers lineup section, I do want to talk some at Jeffrey Scotty Skinner. But the Oil hit the ice this morning, and you saw Ekholm on the ice, and I tell you, it was a sign of relief. Then you look at that 6-man unit for the Edmonton Oilers on their defense core, and you can't help but start licking your chops and going, that looks pretty good to me. Mattias Ekholm, obviously, he is a huge part of this decor, and whether you like it or not, he is of massive importance to the play of Evan Bouchard. Now, Ekholm, yes, getting older, maybe not as good as you would have liked him to be this season compared to last year, but he is still a damn good hockey player, and he hasn't played since March 4th. He's missed the team's last 5 games. It was a very weird stretch here for Mattias Ekholm because it was like the end of January. He was rumored to be coming down with an illness. Every time he gave an interview, he sounded like dog shit. Then he missed a game against Toronto, still went to play for Sweden at the 4 Nations. For their last game was rumored to be a scratch, but then wasn't a scratch, played in that one, came back for the Oilers, looked like he was struggling, and then Chris Knobloch just decided to shut him down for that entire Eastern Conference road trip. Did not come on the plane, stayed in Edmonton the entire way, and hopefully right now he will be feeling very good. And with Ekholm back in that spot, we get to see Jake Wallman in what we hope will be his permanent residence right next to Darnell Nurse, playing that second right D spot. And as I mentioned there before, when you look at that Oilers decor, the way currently constructed, hopefully, I pray to God, no injuries, that is a fully loaded 6-man decor. Yeah,
it really is. I mean, the thing with Mattias Ekholm, too, is like you sort of alluded to, is he hasn't really been 100% in maybe 2 months. I think I was looking back at this yesterday to write a post for the website, and the first instance that I could see of him missing a practice or being a game time decision was when the Oilers played the Minnesota Wild all the way back in the middle of January. So that's where we got the beginning of him with that illness, and then he missed that game against the Toronto Maple Leafs on February the 1st. And you kind of look back at the Oilers and their season, and they were playing pretty well in January. They had that nice stretch, and it was at the end of that month that they started to spiral and struggle. And then you, of course, had the terrible road trip after the 4 Nations. But you kind of look at it, and they had that bug that may have gone through pretty much the whole team. It seems like Ekholm had that the whole time, plus got more sick or dealing with something else at the 4 Nations. So it's been probably 2 months since he's been at his best. So I think with people talking about Ekholm and him playing first pairing minutes and being a 35-year-old D-man and whatnot, there's some recency bias there because we haven't seen him at his best since it's been over 2 months.
Yeah, probably. I mean, once again, it's the standard that he set so far joining the Edmonton Oilers. We have high expectations for Mattias Ekholm. He is an aging, older defender there in the back end, but I fully believe in him. And then we'll talk about it later, but I like the idea of limiting Ekholm and Bouchard minutes with Nurse and Woolman for this stretch run. We just talked about it. Ekholm, I want him to be feeling 100% come the NHL playoffs game 1. Also hope the Oilers make it there. You know who might be on the roster for the NHL playoffs for the Edmonton Oilers? Derek Ryan. I did mention it off the top. He will not be playing tonight. Once again, Brett, you were just describing it to me. Was that such a good vibe today? He was like
he was flying.
Kid in a candy store, absolutely buzzing, glowing, whatever you want to use. And Dan just kept cutting him down at the knees. And was firing back. Brett, share with the class.
Yeah, no, at the end of the video that was shared, Peyton actually recorded the walk-in today. He was explaining his excitement.
Get intern cam over there in the corner.
No kidding. Just have it in the corner. And Dan was like, yeah, he's not going to play or something like that. Say never, ever. And Waz just right at the end just goes, okay, Dan, why do you have to kill my vibe? Why are you killing the fun? And
I hate reality too.
He was so upset for the rest of the day. It was just, but like, as soon as you brought up Derek Ryan, his face lit up. But there was a number one enemy for Waz today.
Yeah, it was Dan. He's asking for it. You know, even Amel, he's like, is Waz always like this? So I was like, no, it's Derek Ryan day. When
That's
Derek
brutal.
Ryan,
Dan's going after him because years ago, Dan's player, his shitty depth player of choice was Brad Malone, and he used to always talk about how Brad Malone was going to come up from the AHL and be like a good third or fourth line center for the team, and he was adamant about it. So if he's chewing out Waz for being a Derek Ryan fan, I don't know, man. Don't forget where you came from.
Dan, if you're watching at home, do you have a double autographed Brad Malone jersey?
Whoa.
Didn't think so. Imagine if he did.
Maybe he's jealous. He's jealous of Waz's devotion to Derek Ryan because he didn't go that hard on Brad Malone.
Everybody needs a player to love unconditionally.
That's an Oilers Nation thing.
Brett
Everyone has to have their random depth player.
Yeah, Janmark for Payton.
Now it's Wallman.
Yeah, now you're Wallman. You were a Vinny guy through and through last year. Pods. If you had to pick one, who's your depth guy?
I don't know. I don't really have a depth guy on the team right now. I'm falling in love with a depth guy on the team in a while.
Come on.
You strike me as a Corey Perry guy.
I don't know if he's a depth guy. He's like their fourth leading scorer.
That's depth, baby.
Really
That's
a depth guy. He's like their best winger.
Just and quickly, he's obviously not playing in the game. Thoughts on Derek Ryan getting recalled? Because didn't we talk about this on Friday that I said, dude, the Oilers sending down Derek Ryan, I do not think they are directly correlated at all, but the Oilers did kind of fall apart. But you look at that 4C spot, maybe not tonight because Adam Henrique is going to be playing in that position, but it's been Janmark, it's been Kasperi Kapanen, it's just been Connor and Leon being double shifted where the 4C isn't even getting a ton of minutes. Thoughts on DR10 coming back to the big club?
Yeah, I don't think Derek Ryan's really here to play 10 minutes and chip in offense or really do anything other than take faceoffs, because when he got sent down, it was because Noah Philp was going to get a run, and he only played in 9 or 10 games before they sent him back down. And Matt Savoy comes up, and then he goes down, and there isn't a new center. So Matthias Janmark on the faceoffs this year, 42.5%. Kasperi Kapanen's even worse, 39.5%. And then Philp won 40.8% in his first 12 games in the league. Whereas Derek Ryan on his career, 55.2% of faceoffs he's won. And this season with the Oilers in 33 games, 60.3 faceoff percentage.
There you go, Waz. That one was for you. That was dedicated to you. Dan tries to bring you down. We won't let that happen. Sasky Girl Oil need DR to center the fourth line. Like, once a great point, because you're not going to ask him to do a whole lot. It's shoulder some minutes on the PK, win a big draw, and get the fuck off the ice.
Yeah, pissing off Waz and bringing down Waz is reserved for me, boys.
Yeah, nobody does it better.
I dibs it.
Nobody does it better than you, bickering like an old married couple.
He's
Tonight, though,
losing fantasy.
Yeah, I didn't make the playoffs and Waz did. So
This is your fault.
That's a tough go. I also lost to my 12-year-old.
You don't know puck as well as Waz?
Also lost in the fantasy basketball playoffs to my 12-year-old nephew. Take that back.
That's why I don't participate in these things.
I'm getting laughed at.
I don't want people to find out how bad I am at understanding hockey.
Also lost in the fantasy football final as well. Back-to-back years being first place. 0 champions to show for it. But we're not here to talk about me. We're now going to talk about the Utah Hockey Club because they are in the midst of a playoff chase right now. Brett, if you can pull it up for me, the Western Wild Card race.
It's wild.
There you see him. Oh, that's wild.
That's why they call it that.
The Minnesota Wild leading the Wild race. Boom, head absolutely
Minnesota
exploded.
Wild Cards.
First year in existence for the Utah Hockey Club, and they might be hosting a playoff game or two. As you see it there on your screen, they're currently 2 points back of the Vancouver Canucks for that second and final wild card spot. really looks like Minnesota's got that other one locked up, so it's chasing Vancouver, and it's contested in there. You see the St. Louis Blues, same amount of points, but with one extra game played. Calgary got 2 games in hand over St. Louis, 1 in hand over the Canucks. Utah's in there, so it's going to be quite the little stretch run here. I hate just saying hockey club. I'm getting sick and tired of it. I want to say something cool. I want to say Yeti.
Hockey
But
squad?
I'm never going to be a hockey squad.
How about hockey squad?
Mammoth is the way to go, and
Yeah.
I'm so happy that it's going to be Mammoth.
I wanted
Yeah.
Wentachi. That other name they
Yeah.
had. That weird
Yeah.
name.
I forget how to say it.
Waka
Somebody
Flocka?
give the pronunciation.
Flocka.
Waka.
I go hard.
The motherfucker.
Mount?
As you can tell there on your screen, though, Utah 30, 26, and 11, 71 points, 67 games. But since the Four Nations break, shout out to Coombsy for writing today's game notes, 6-3-2 since the Four Nations break. And on the season as a whole, they do own a top 15 power play and a top 15 penalty kill. We were both laughing because a lot of their season numbers, once again, one word comes to mind. Mid would be how you would describe the Utah Hockey Club and all their statistics, but it's going to be a stretch run for them here down the stretch. I would like to see some playoff hockey in Utah. You also noted something about the attendance for the Utah Hockey Club in game notes today. Share with the class.
Yeah, I think honestly everything about Utah or the Coyotes moving from Arizona to Utah has been largely positive thus far. They're playing in the Utah Jazz Delta Center, which is an 11,000 some odd person venue when it's turned into hockey, and they've sold out all of their games thus far. So that's a positive thing. I also noted one thing that I didn't really realize how bad the Coyotes had been in their history there. And Utah this year, their points percentage is .530, so they're on pace to put up like 86 points or something. Pretty middling season, but that would be better than 17 of the 27 seasons they had as the Arizona/Phoenix Coyotes.
That's crazy to me to even begin to think about. I mean, like, shout out Ryan Smith, shout out everything going on over there, but that is just egregious. I see Jeff Skinner says RIP to the Mullet Arena. I did get to be inside of that building and watch an Edmonton Oilers W, so that was awesome. Calvin Pickard says thare so average. Coombsy and mine feet just touched as well.
It
right
always
there.
happens.
Yeah, it does. Oh, it's happening again. Let me get out of there.
Hey, oh, hey.
What are you guys doing down there?
Don't make me get the feet shot out. I'll grab this thing.
So nobody wants to see it. Nobody wants to see that. Utah Mammoth, though, I'm fully in support of. I was a huge Colorado Mammoth fan of the NLL. Shout out.
Yep. Quick shout out. Oh, I'm trying to think.
Ben Prepchuk from Sherwood Park. Shout out
Gavin
him.
Prout. Shout out Gavin
Hey.
Prout.
There you go. All right, let's go to our need to know information, courtesy of Wilhock Beef Jerky. Only the finest tasting meat products earn the Wilhock name, made from 100% pure Alberta beef. Their jerky is aged, seasoned, smoked, and marinated to savory perfection. They gladly fill orders of any size. You can find their jerky, sausage, and other products exclusively out of their Leduc location. And for more information, head to WilhockBeefJerky.com to get yo jerky on, as the kids do say. Right, Peyton? You're mocking me the entire time doing that ad
He thinks
read
the ad reads are so funny.
because they're
He'll
off the
sit there while
dome.
we're watching the games and just like repeat them to himself.
Yeah, he did do that. He did that earlier today. He's going to do that probably 3 times.
It also doesn't help you were staring right at him off the top.
Yeah,
What are
you're
you
making
talking
hard
about?
eye contact talking about beef jerky.
Standings watch. Da-na-na, da-na-na. We did take a peek at it earlier, but Oil 4 back of Vegas, 67 games played each. LA 1 back of the Edmonton Oilers with a game in hand. Vancouver holds the second wildcard spot. They're the only other Pacific Division team, and the Oil would have a 9-point lead over the Canucks. We know they're going through their 4-game homestand, but this tonight against the Utah Hockey Club will be their 3rd and final meeting this season. The Oil 2-0, looking to sweep the season series. It was a 4-3 win in Utah over the hockey squad. I do like that way more. Back in November, and 4-1 at home on New Year's Eve. McDavid in those 2 games has 4 points, while Leon Draisaitl has 2 goals. We already went through the lineup notes. Brett, just throw it up one more time for the people. Jeffrey Scotty Skinner with Connor and Hyman. Perry with Leon and Connor Brown. That does keep happening. And I feel like that was happening to Pat as well. So I don't think you're crazy.
Thank you.
Never happens on Oilers Nation every day. Some other guys producing.
Down boy.
Good
Different system.
Good helps hard. Yeah, it's completely different system. Third line, Pods, Nuge, RV, Janmark, Rico Kapanen, and then the 6-man decor of my dreams. Galvin Pickard, he's going to get the start. My pal Cal, 16-7-0 record, 267 goals against average with an 898 save percentage. He won his last game Friday when we were feeling loosey-goosey at Greta on Oilersnation After Dark. Well, we were, because we could talk. You were in a world of trouble over there dealing with the hiccups.
It was an existential crisis. I was spiraling.
I felt so bad for you.
It was terrible.
I'll break the fourth wall, but in our little private chat, me and Brett probably said 5 times, Coombsy, we can let you go right now. We can put up a full thing. Credit to Coombs.
I'm not gonna give up.
I don't think he saw any of it.
Yeah.
He was just battling for his lives. He was on the beaches of Normandy.
Fuck my life, yeah.
But against the
Keep
Islanders,
grinding.
Picks, he was awesome. Not only playing goalie, but also getting an assist on the overtime game-winning goal from Leon Draisaitl for the Utah hockey squad. 30, 26, and 11, 71 points, as I said, 2 points back of those Vancouver Canucks. There's the head-to-head between the Utah hockey squad and the Oilers. So the Oil, they're 9th in goals per game, while Utah, they're 2.8. That's 21st in the NHL in goals per game. Both of them have very good power play units. The Oilers, I believe... they're 5th in power play percentage in the NHL. Utah is 13th. Goals against, obviously, you see there 2.9 each. That's respectively 13th and 14th in the NHL. But Utah, solid penalty kill, 13th in the NHL. With the Oilers' power play been damn good lately. But I didn't throw any power play points down there on Bordzy's bankroll today. I just wasn't confident enough. When you don't feel it in your plums or your cubes, as Brett would say, that's when you know. And I frankly just wasn't feeling it. Clayton Keller, or yes, Brett, about your cubes?
Yeah, I was just going to say one of my...
What are they feeling today? Let's get back on track here. Hold on.
One of my brackets for March Madness is just called my cubes bracket.
Okay, people in the chat, is it overkill to make how many brackets?
I'm currently on my 9th.
You don't believe in yourself.
That's crazy.
If you're making 9 different
Some
brackets.
are like on logos. Some are like teams that have
That should be your
letters
one
in their
bracket. You
logos.
make
No,
some picks based on logos, some
No.
picks based on academic
no,
standards.
Sometimes they just
some
work.
picks based on flight distance.
Yeah, no. Sometimes
You
you
can't make
just.
9 brackets.
I made one at
I
like
got a vibe
4:30 in the
bracket. I got a vibe
morning.
bracket.
Yeah, no, it's just vibes.
You can
vibes.
do like a real one and a joke one. That's how it should be.
No, there's
I only do one.
there's multiple, like, not joke ones, but just like, here's how I'm feeling in my cubes and whatever, and all of the things that I've picked up since. And then I have 2 like serious ones. I'm working on my serious one. And then the other serious one is just the ones where I was 50-50 on them and then just.
Is this how you treat relationships too, Brett? Brett's got 10 girlfriends and one of them's serious, one of them's kind of a joke.
Treat my
one of
brackets
them's-
just don't
Stop.
Jeff Skinner's in. He says 9 is excessive bread. Patrick says 1 bracket rule, which I totally subscribe to. Also, your odds of a perfect bracket, looked it up yesterday.
25%.
1 in 9.22 quintillion.
You're telling me there's a
Is
chance.
Warren Buffett still doing the
Yeah.
$1 billion thing?
And I also read that Elon may or may not have offered a trip to Mars if you got one. I also then
Do you
went.
get to come back? Or?
That's when I went. I don't think anyone's ever been to Mars.
I think
So
it's a one-way trip, right?
I don't want to do that, Elon. I don't want any part of
digging
that.
out.
You start digging out his tunnels for him.
I'm going to sit that one out, Elon.
You know what? You can have that one. You can have that one. Clayton Keller leads the Utah hockey squad in points. I like saying that. That's rolling off the tongue. 75 and 66 games. He's also tied for the team lead in goals with 24 with Dylan Guenther, which, Brett, if we remember, one of my hot takes this season, the beginning of the year, game 1, was Dylan Guenther would score 30 goals. We thought he was going to crush that for sure. 24.
He got hurt.
Still plenty of time. But, hey, that's a hot take.
He did
No
get hurt,
excuses,
though.
brother. No excuses.
Yep.
Mikhail Sergachev, he's been awesome on the back end. 11 goals, 43 points in 62 games played, and he averages 25 minutes and 23 seconds per night time on ice. Something tells me we're going to see a lot of Sergachev tonight. And then Karel Vejmelka will get the start. 19, 17, and 6 record, 2.45 goals against, 909 save percentage. But in his career against the Edmonton Oilers, 1-3-1. You like this? 4.50 goals against average with an 875 save percentage. Point night, get right game. Jeff Skinner, bet all the props, baby. Let's go. No, do so responsibly. Let's go now. Sherwood Ford, a Giant storyline brought to you by Sherwood Ford, the Giant. Hockey fans helping hockey fans. Free valet service for all Oilers Nation fans. Never visit the dealership again for car service. Get an exclusive swag package with every Nation Valet service booked online and be automatically entered to win a monthly prize draw. Also at Sherwood Ford, you can get $500 towards a vehicle service plan for all Oilers Nation fans with a vehicle purchase. Oilers Nation fans, your hockey destination is Sherwood Ford, the Giant. I just want to do that so Brett could do it with me. It's like kind of like we're waiting for the drop.
Yeah.
Wait for it. Oh, there it is. Let's go.
We should make like a remix song of you doing all the ads and make it like kind of like a beat and give it to Peyton for his birthday.
Lance?
Lance? Dude, Decker.
Yeah, somebody in the chat can do that.
My buddy.
Oh, Decker.
You might have a great idea. We might put a pin in that. Put a pin in that. Put a pin in that. But my storyline, let's go here. This is a game that you should win. Let's go with a 3-game win streak. Should have got off the pot time here. What, roughly 15 games? I believe that math is correct for the Edmonton Oilers left in this season. They've been about as inconsistent as you can ask of them since the Four Nations break, but I did see some things against the Islanders. Defense honed in. You mentioned it, back-to-back games, only allowing 1 goal with 2 different goaltenders out there, and they did it. Both of them, especially Sunday, with a depleted roster with no Ekholm and no Hyman. Also adding the fact that no Trent Frederick, who also was reported today, is not expected to play this week. Maybe next week by the process of elimination. Who knows? Your guess is as good as mine. Key to victory. I don't necessarily have one. It's not power play. I'd probably just go with continue to play simple hockey like they did Sunday. Just because you had one game where you scored 3 goals doesn't mean you go back to overpassing, doing too much. Be simple. Pucks at the point. Fire them on net. Traffic in front. Carol Milk is good. Not that good, all right? I would like you to get in his crease, get in his kitchen, get him off his game. Coombsy, you got a storyline or a key to victory for me?
Yeah, I think it's sort of maintaining that same game standard they had against the Islanders and the Rangers, where they were winning puck battles and they were on the
Give
guys.
a shit meter.
Yeah,
Boom.
the guys on the opponents on the Islanders and the Rangers, whenever they had the puck, somebody was on them quickly. It wasn't a lethargic game. The opponents didn't have time to set up or do their thing. So you look at Utah, you look at where they are in the standings, they're in that same sort of mix as the 2 New York teams. Maybe they're a playoff team, probably not, sort of middling. You should be able to control this game. Like we said, we have 2 of these next 6 games, one against Winnipeg, one against Dallas. You really don't want to be losing a game to Utah, just like on the last road trip when they lost to Buffalo. You don't want to be losing games at this point of the year to teams like that.
That's a bad way to start a stretch of any kind, and here we go. 1 win turns into 2 wins. 2 wins turns into 3. 3 turns into 16-game heaters. That solves all of our problems. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Also, Patrick said Houston for the ship. Throw in your picks. Who do you think is going to win the tourney? Go Blue Devils.
Gators.
Yeah, Duke.
I have Gators versus Blue Devils in the finals.
I have Gators versus Houston.
I'm a UCLA fan.
On which one of your brackets? All of them? Or some of them?
No, you're not even allowed to say what
I've got 12 different champions. All of them lose.
I just hope they all have fun. Remember, they're just kids. I'm gonna tweet them.
No, they're getting
I'm gonna tweet them in my burner accounts.
They're getting paid now, so you can shout out.
Oh yeah, actually, yeah, you're right. No, yeah, fuck them.
It's not about the spirit of the game anymore.
All's fair.
Hey, you're a new stepdad. I also have Grand Canyon making a run. Let's go.
High Point.
Let's go. Let's go. I guess pull it up now here, Brett. We've already gone through it twice, but just for visual, the Edmonton Oilers projected lineup, brought to you by Sherwood for the Giant, obviously, but Jeff Skinner. Come on, baby. It's the story we've all been waiting for. Get that photo framed. Let's put him up in the office because no one will ever believe that this happened. He will play alongside Connor McDavid and a confirmed Zachary Martin Hyman. It feels like a long time coming, despite being health bombed for what felt like every 2 to 3 games, even after he had scored goals at points. Brett, you're freaking out on me?
We have defensive news, so get through the forwards and I will get some news for you.
What?
Is John Klingberg
you're going to hate that.
Shut up.
You're going to hate that. All right, Tony Bird just tweeted him. We'll give Brett a minute to pull it up here. Forward lines, still going to say the same. The D pairings will be Matthias Ekholm with Evan Bouchard, Darnell Nurse with Troy Stetcher, and Jake Wallman with Brett Kulak on the right side. Jake Wallman on the left. So by the process of elimination, Ty Emerson won't be blocking any shots this evening, gentlemen. So I'm a little bit down for that. And the tattoo bet, I only got a 4 blocked shot lead. So I'll give Brett a second to bring that in. Late breaking news, Ty Emerson not expected to be in the lineup. Troy Stetcher moving into that second pairing spot. But back to Jeff Skinner here. Keep up the forward lines, Brett. He is been health bombed what feels like every 2 to 3 games, even after he has scored goals in some of these points. And he has been one of the most consistent Oilers over this really shitty stretch of hockey for the Edmonton Oilers. You know me. I'm not a number cruncher. I'm not an analytics guy, but shout out Zachary Lang, because he said among Oilers forwards who have played over 100 minutes, Skinner ranks 4th in 5v5 goals per hour. He's actually 3rd in points per hour as well, behind only Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. And the thing is, most of the majority of those minutes have come in the bottom 6 in limited ice time with less skill. He's adapted his game this year. We've always known he has the offensive intangibles. He can shoot the puck. He can rip it and everything. The issue to start this season was the defensive liability that he was. And can you teach an old dog new tricks? In Jeff Skinner's case, took us 67 games to get to this point, but he has added some of that dog mentality on the defensive end. He's not afraid to get in the dirty areas. We've seen him back check a number of times to break up a play going the other way. We've seen him battle in the blue paint, stick lifting to prevent some goals, all the things that Chris Knobloch has asked for. And here we are. Now this part sucks, so earmuffs if you want to. Once again, I blame Zach Lang. In 74 minutes with Connor McDavid this season, Jeff Skinner and McD have been outscored 8-1. Now, most of those minutes did come at the beginning of the year where Jeff Skinner wasn't at his peak. That's not this Jeff Skinner. That's not the animal I love. I love the Jay Skinner shot prop. It was at 250. I'm sure it has depleted down because everybody's going for that. 3 shots at 250. Are you shitting me on the top line? That's crazy. But Jeff Skinner earned and not given, Coombsy.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a roller coaster ride for Jeff Skinner. You've seen him in the top 6, down in the 4th line, in the press box a lot, and it's been sort of, there was that stretch where you ask, he's scoring goals, playing pretty well, and he still winds up in and out of the lineup, and you ask, what is it that Jeff Skinner has to do to get consistent playing time? We all thought he was going to get a consistent run with Leon Draisaitl, that's who he was going to try and find chemistry with, but it looks like it's going to be Connor McDavid, who has been in a bit of a funk offensively by his standards. I mean, he's still producing quite a bit, but we're talking about by his standards.
Like he's on like a 10 or 11 game point streak, which is hilarious.
He'll do something like put up 7 points and 7 points in 5 games, and people are like, "Oh, geez, is he injured? Like, what's going on here?" Like, but no, that's sort of what's going on. So I think they're trying to find some chemistry here before the playoffs between Skinner and McDavid. This was sort of what the plan was in the offseason, I think, and they haven't really given these guys much of a run because it was a disaster back in October, November, but I think it's a bit of a different animal in March.
Yeah, that's a very good point here. Also, Chris Knobloch is in, and he says, guys, trust me on this. So
I don't.
That's all I'm going to be able to do. Brett must hate that.
Do we know what happened to Ty Emerson? Is it?
No, I'm
nothing
not seeing anything online. Just Ty Emerson is out going. Everybody going off of Tony Broer's tweet there. Brett, thoughts? That stinks for you. Once again, I love Troy Stetcher. I love him as a 7th defenseman. I love that if a player is not ready to go. I'm confident throwing in Troy Stetcher, you're always going to get 101% of effort out there. But your face tells me you do not like the tattoo bet angle here.
I think we are going to have to start prorating and going
absolutely
blocks
not
per game.
You should draft Jake Wallman as your new guy in the draft.
I said that.
Give him a second chance.
We've been talking about this. That Jake,
it's like your brackets. You can have 6 people in the.
He gets all of the Oilers defensemen besides Brett Kulak.
If
Kulak
Jake
versus everyone,
I'd still fucking take Brett Kulak.
I think if Jake Wallman finishes his Oilers tenure with more blocks than both of our defensemen, we both get a tattoo.
Let's revisit that because that's not a bad idea. We've been talking about throwing Jake Wallman on the graphic because the dude, once again, apologize, was not familiar with your game. Dude loves eating rubber. Final thing, we got to move quickly.
I'm going to ask you guys a trivia question quickly.
Oh, hell yeah.
There's 5 guys on the Oilers who have played in all 67 games. Can you guess who the 5 guys are?
Brett Kulak.
He is one of them, yeah.
Leon Draisaitl.
He's one of them, yeah. So that's
Connor
2.
Brown.
Connor Brown's one of them, yeah. 2 more.
Oh, darn. Evan Bouchard.
Yeah.
Evan Bouchard's one of them. Who's the 5th Oiler to have appeared in all 67 of the team's games this season?
Yeah, I didn't think it was
no
Adam
Janmark
either.
No Henrik. No, you can't look at my screen. He's looking at my screen.
Who else is on this team?
Victor Arvidsson.
It's the
No,
surprise.
not Victor
No,
Arvidsson.
not
He's
Victor.
injured.
I'll give you a
Shit.
hint. It was Pod Colson. Yeah.
Oh! Bang! Bang!
You wouldn't have expected that.
Peyton scores.
I thought he would have been healthy scratched at some point, but good for him.
Yeah, good for him. Well, once again, the moment you said it, I went Brett Kulak because he's an absolute Iron Man for this squad. Victor Arvidsson, finding his game right now. I like him on a shot prop as well. He'll be my honorable mention. He got bumped for Jeff Skinner. 16 shots in his last 5 games, 2 goals in his last 5 games, which, as Bag Milk pointed out, Brett, it's the most productive he's pretty much been all season. But he looks good. He looks different. He's found chemistry with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Vasily Podkolzin. He's been ripping pucks on net. He's been more of a pest lately. Kind of looks like he's rounding into playoff form. Liam had a good point. Last year, this is the point when Victor Arvidsson came back for the LA Kings, had 15 points in 18 games. There's no direct correlation there, but maybe he's just an end-of-season guy. Maybe he's a spring guy. I like Arvidsson's play lately. Do you too?
Yeah, I think they might have found something here with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins as the third-line center. I don't think – I mean, for years he had been excellent as Connor McDavid's left winger. He played the good two-way game, but – the offense just hasn't really been there this season for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. So putting him down in the center spot makes them deeper down the middle. And it seems there's some chemistry here with Podkolzin and Arvidsson, which they tried to make the Draisaitl line, didn't wind up working out. And if they found some chemistry with Nugent-Hopkins here, that's a really good third line.
It's like kind of like the island of misfit toys for like the Oilers this year. You got Pods, can't find his consistent home. Nuge definitely can't find consistency. And then Victor Arvidsson, the definition of inconsistency out there. Shout out to those 3 because they've looked good. Hopefully they can keep it going.
You think Victor Arvidsson subscribes to the look good, play good?
Okay, so I saw this earlier, and I just had to bring this into the show because I like the Arvidsson over 2.5 shots. It's a plus 132. Let that ride. But, Brett, you tell me this guy ain't going to be ripping the puck on net all game long?
Hell yeah.
Boy,
Might have gone shopping on the New York trip.
my boy is looking. Ooh, that must got to be a new suit.
You
from
think
New
so,
York.
right?
Oh, that's
on the
a
Saturday
great
when they were
Cole
off, bought himself a nice new thread.
Look at the buttons on that thing. They're 3 wide. That guy is shooting the puck tonight. That guy might even be scoring a goal tonight, as I mentioned, 2 in his last 5 games.
He ain't wearing
color.
jeans there.
There's no jeans underneath that guy right now. He's ready to play tonight. Let's go to the starting goaltender report, brought to you by Sherwood Power Sports and Marine. Their Price Thaw event is going on right now with savings on motorcycles, boats, and ATVs. Power Sports and Marine is headed to the Edmonton Boat and Sportsman Show March 20th to the 23rd. We're going to be doing Oilers Nation every day live from a boat at that Sportsman Show. Come join them. They also have their own booth for dedicated tackle and fishing gear as well. So if you want to play in the ATVs or the quads and the dirt bikes, ATVs and quads are the same thing. Don't know why I said that. Then you also got fishing and tackle gear over here. Power Sports Marine also running their commercial through this hockey game. Calvin Pickard, he's going to get the start tonight for the Edmonton Oilers. There you see it. Him and Stu Skinner's numbers. He is points 0-0-1 better than Stuart Skinner on the season. 16-7-0, 267 goals against Coomer. We mentioned it. The balls on Calvin Pickard in overtime to not only play that puck for the breakaway for Leon Draisaitl, but moments before to fish the puck out of a scrum behind the net. Balls. We need balls on this team. Calvin Pickard's been awesome, but we all know this. It's been kind of funny. The roller coaster of Pickard felt like 2.5 weeks ago. It was anoint him the 1A. He's better than Stuart Skinner. Had 1 bad game against the Anaheim Ducks, and it was like, he fucking sucks. We put out the clip of him saying he likes Dustin Schwartz. All the comments were like, yeah, it's because you suck too, Calvin Pickard. It's like, well, it's trying to be consistent here a little bit. But the other guy, Karel Vejmelka, 909 save percentage on the season, was rumored to be on the Oilers' radar here around the trade deadline season. But Coombsy, he signed a ticket.
Yeah, he signed a 5-year contract with the Utah hockey squad,
Rats.
the Hockey Friends of Utah. He signed a 5-year contract worth just under $5 million, I think 4.75 or something like that. So that shattered all the dreams of the Oilers fans who were hoping for them to go out and acquire him. But yeah, Calvin Pickard, I think he had that really good game against the New York Islanders, and obviously you're not going to go right back to him the next day against the Rangers, but you want to reward him for that really good game and that amazing pass that he made when they won in the overtime. So makes sense to give him this game here. They got the Winnipeg Jets coming up, and they're going to start Stuart Skinner in that one, you'd think. you starting goalie, you give him the playoff test game there. And I think this is just a natural spot for Pickard to play.
Yep, exactly. Keep the boys fresh. And once again, Calvin Pickard has been looking very good. Let's go now to the away team Utah Hockey Club lineup, brought to you by Greta Bar, the very place that gave Coombsy hiccups on Friday night. Because, gentlemen, did we have fun or did we have fun on Friday night? Brett, I know you and I did. I said it on Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
We played that beer pong game for hours on end. We shut that place down. Phil, the manager, came up to us and was, "Are you guys still playing?" And we went, "Yeah, dude, fuck off." Can't you tell I'm very familiar with this game?
And we were close every time. Like, it was either a tie.
We tied so many times in a row.
Either tie or one way or the other.
And
One
then,
point.
Then we go best of 3, no best of 5, no best of 7,
Yeah.
best of 9, best of 11. People are like, "Can I get a game?" No, get out of here. Get out of here. You don't know how to play this one. This one's complicated. You wouldn't understand. Pull it up for me. The projected Utah Hockey Friends lineup. That's the Edmonton Oilers.
The Edmonton Hockey Friends.
The Edmonton Hockey Friends. Clayton Keller, top line with Alex Kerfoot and Nick Schmaltz. Second line, Logan Cooley with Barrett Hayton and Dylan Gunther. Former King, Lawson Krause with Jack McBain and Josh Doan. Michael Carsoni with Kevin Stenlund and Jugs, a former friend, Nick Bukestad on the fourth line. Your deep pairings, Mikhail Sergachev with John Marino. Ollie Motto with Sean Dursey. Ian Cole with another former friend,
Oilers legend,
Michael Kesselring. I mentioned it. Utah, they're in the midst of a solid playoff chase here. They're going to be hungry to grab 2 points here, even on the road. I believe this is their third and final game of their road trip right now, where they have so far gone 1-1. They did beat the Vancouver Canucks 3-1, I believe was the score in that game. But Coombsy, ask it all the time. You look at this lineup, can be forward, can be D. Who is your player to watch tonight?
I think it unfortunately is going to have to be Mike Kesselring, just because everyone talks about him like crazy. Liam wrote a good article for the website today where he pointed out, while it was unfortunate for the Oilers to lose Mike Kesselring in that trade, it was the Bukestad trade where they sent Bukestad and Kesselring, and they sent Kesselring for Bukestad and Cam Dineen. That's what it was. I got myself all mixed up.
Oh, Cam Dineen.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on.
Oilers legend.
You got the best player in that.
Yeah, so that was a bit of a lopsided one for the Oilers. But you look back at all the trades they've made recently, they haven't really given up any prospects that have gone on to do anything. You look at the Matthias Ekholm trade, for example, with Nashville. Reed Schaefer as a prospect they drafted in the first round. He hasn't made the NHL level yet. He has
Orgo, Raph Lavoie, Roby
Lots of-
Jarventi. A
lots
lot of prospects. Max Warner.
Max
I don't know.
Walker.
When you're a competitive team like the Oilers are, Stanley Cup contender, I say it all the time. Less need from the LA Rams, Brett. Fuck them picks, man. Fuck them picks. You got Connor McDavid. People will want to come play in this building. Who's that at the window right now?
It's Jay.
Oh, it's Jay. Okay. Oh, just my boss.
Who's
Okay,
that?
all right.
Never heard of him.
For Brett, who would you go for a player to watch?
I've been kind of struggling, but I'm also going to go with former Oilers, John Marino. I like John Marino. I'm a big John Marino guy. I wish he was able to play with the Oil this year or at all in his career, but unfortunately not. Cool little puck moving defenseman sometimes, works hard. I like John Marino.
All right, well, I'll be consistent with the theme then and pick Jugs. Nick Bukestad is all three former Edmonton Oilers. He's got a
Is that all of them?
He's got a whopping 5 goals and 11 assists on the season. Keep your eyes peeled for that. No, for me, it's all about Dylan Gunther. He's 24 goals, 24 assists at the same time.
How about Shane Doan's son on the team? Is he any good, or is that just a Nepo child thing? I have followed his
little
career
from column
zero.
A, a little from column B.
He was on that good Chicago SEAL team with Matthew Coronado and
All right,
Matthew
does Payton need to awkwardly get out of the studio right now? So let's go to Bordzy's bankroll for Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Breaking news here from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime winner is a barn burner, every face-off, hat trick, power play, shot on goal, penalty shot, and every suspenseful minute in between is amazing. Whatever the moment, never ordinary. Official partner of the NHL. Download the app. Use the code NATION to get in on the game. Must be 19 or older. Please play responsibly. All right, baby. Let's get her going here because I feel good about these ones. And in the words of my producer, Brett Holden, plus chasing in this hockey game, all 3 bets, plus signs next to them. First one, If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Looking for L50N, Leon 450 and a plus 115. I like the juice on that against the Utah Hockey Friends. He's on an 18-game point streak. He didn't score a goal in the last one, but because he's due for 50, come on. He scored 15 goals in his last 22 hockey games. That is insane. That is nuts. The lead he has for the Rocket Richard, also insane, also nuts. The second one, we've got Jeffrey Scotty Skinner here with over 2.5 shots on goal. It was plus 250 earlier. I saw it was already down at plus 240. Let's see if I check here again, if it's gone down even more. Either way, run. Don't walk to go smash on the Jeff Skinner shot prop right now. Just looking to see where shots on goal, live podcasting. Jeff Skinner plus 240 right now, so it only went down 10. And then finally, Bushbaum over 2.5 shots on goal, even plus 100. He's been ripping them lately, 15 shots on goal in his last 5. That's an average. No mathematician of 3. Intern Reese is also in the building tonight, and he lives for the Bouchard shot props. I told him I would do it. Then honorable mention, Victor Arvidsson plus 132 for 3 shots as well. But these 3 bets you see on your screen, if they all get played together, that is plus 1,400 if all 3 can go down. So feeling pretty good with those plus signs. Coombsy, which of those 3 bets do you like the most?
I think Leon Draisaitl grew up in Germany thinking, what if I could score my 50th NHL goal in a given season against a team from Utah? And he has now the chance to do it. Might not have ever thought this dream could come true, and now he can do it. So that's what I think it's going to be.
Don't let your dreams be dreams. And as Shia LaBeouf would say, just do it. Brett, what about you? What do you like here?
I'm kind of following. I like Leon hitting 50, but mostly because they're back at home. He loves playing in Edmonton. I'm going with Leon anytime goal.
Leon Draisaitl. Also, Bob says, where the hell is Lance? Sure, we sang him happy birthday. Something tells me Lance is out there getting boozed up. Might even be going to the hockey game tonight. Out of these, I love all 3 of them. I can't pick one. It's like asking you to pick your favorite child between my favorite bets. They've all got plus money, and I feel good about them. Brett, you know when I feel good about them? I sent it to my buddies at like 10 a.m. Sent it bright and early this morning. Said, boys, let's ride. I sent it with Arvidsson. Said later, material change, Jeff Skinner plus 250. Couldn't account for that one. Finally, let's go. Score predictions, anytime goal scores. Coombsy, you go first.
I'm going to go a 4-1 Oilers win, Leon Draisaitl goal.
Bang. Brett?
7-2 Oil, and I am going with a Jeffrey Scotty Skinner.
Jake Wellman in the chat also feeling quite confident, says 7-2 for the good guys. Ryan S. 3-1 Oil. For me, I do like puck line in this game. I think it's like plus 150 for the Edmonton Oilers. Feel like there's some good value out there tonight on Bet365. Love them to death. Don't really know what they've been doing today. I don't know if they know Jeff Skinner is on that top line. I'm going to say 5-1 for the Edmonton Oilers. Point night for some fellas. Leon gets a goal. Jeffrey Scotty Skinner gets a goal. Victor Arvidsson gets a goal. That's 3 predictions for you there. Maybe we'll get one of those. I love you all. I appreciate you all. Coombsy, Brett, you already knew that I appreciate it and love both of you. People, throw down your courtesy like on your way out. And remember, we love all our sponsors. Sherwood Ford, The Giant, Sherwood Power Sports Marine, Greta Bar Yegg, Bet365, Wilhock Beef Jerky. And once again, come to Greta. We didn't do it for the What Chaos Night coming up on March 27th. Come on, DJ Bean, Pete Blackburn, Sean DePaz, all going to be in town. They're going to be here in the office next week. Like, we're doing crossover ONE episodes. Are they staying upstairs?
Dude, I'm so pumped. I'm so
sleeping
pumped.
5 feet away from me?
It's staying in the basement.
Ooh. There's a bakery down there.
It's going to be the first time I've ever met them. DJ Bean did the show once.
I was like, he did pre-gaming and After Dark.
But that was about it, which I showed my Spider-Man shirt and he loved it. But I can't wait to meet these guys. This is going to be fantastic.
I thought he was actually a DJ.
I'm not going to lie to you. I thought he was a radio
jockey
DJ
Bean.
I already forget. He's told us what his real name is. But DJ, that sounds sick. DJ.
Jonathan?
I was going to make a bean joke, but I stopped myself from making a bean joke there as well. And then finally, Super Chats. Don't think I forgot about you. Reminder, all your Super Chat donations are in support of the Ben Stelter Foundation, where they do awesome things, transformative research, advanced philanthropy, and just giving families dealing with cancer magical experiences, sending them to awesome places for family memories. Bob Stoffer's in. He is aware that if he puts it in a Super Chat, I am contractually obligated to read it. Says the Utah multiple wives, so we'll just can move past that one quickly. I also looked up during the show. I was like, what is the definition of polygamy? Yes, I was correct in what that is. Bob Stoffer, $6.99. Nice. Says, let's go tonight here. Seems like this was Knob's plan all along. Hashtag Ben. Let's get it for here on out, guys. You know what he's missing? Cup, yeah. Cup, yeah. And that'll do it for Pregaming with Bordzy. Once again, we'll be live right here on the Oilers Nation YouTube channel right after the game. The boys looking to hit a plus 1,400 parlay. That would be big for the bankroll. Jay has a plus 7,000 parlay going on on the Bet365 Game Day Betting Challenge on ONE. The crazy part was I looked at it and I went, I don't hate that bet. So who knows? Maybe everybody will win tonight. Good luck out there. I love you all. I appreciate you all. Talk in a couple hours. Peace out.